Hey, Emily, what are your thoughts on sand?
I think it's kind of a little coarse, a little rough. Can be irritating sometimes.
It's welcome to the swamp. We are a movie podcast. The swamp is an acronym.
For some whack-ass movie podcasting.
And today we're going to be talking about arguably the most whack-ass movie ever created. Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. And we have our in-house Star Wars regular guest, Henry.
Yo!
I would say this is like a top 3, of the wackest movies. Wouldn't you say?
Yes.
It is incredibly whack. Especially after just watching Phantom Menace. Going from that to this movie. Why is there such a difference? Why is this movie a soap opera? Most of the shots look like it's a fucking soap opera. When all these times that Anakin and Padme... I mean, we're going to talk about this. Anakin and Padme's whole thing, it's like a soap opera the entire time. The lighting, the angles, everything. It's ridiculous. I love it.
Meanwhile, Obi Wan is, fucking off trying to, solve the mystery of, a war that's about to happen. But it's just, Anakin and Padme, gazing into each other's eyes. It's
incredible.
Too drama.
Ewan MAYgregor, both performance-wise and character-wise, carries the entire movie.
Peak Ewan, which is why we picked this movie. Obviously, it's Ewan MAYgregor here on the pod, so we had to pay homage to this iconic Ewan moment.
This is probably one of my favorite movies of his.
Oh, for sure. I would say that this is what he is known for. He's known for being Obi Wan. He's done a lot of great things. He's a very well versed actor. He's in a lot of stuff, but that's Obi Wan. So that's why we chose to pick this movie. Also, because we have done episode 1, episode 2. We're obviously going to work our way through the Star Warses, as I know you're a really big fan.
Yeah, no. I'd say this is probably my favorite franchise as a wee one.
And then, you too, Henry, right? You're just...
almost definitely me too, yeah.
Watching the movies with you is crazy because you just, know everyone's names. The side back characters.
Well, that is all from Lego Star Wars, because when you unlock those people, that shows their little names. I would not know who Kiadi Moody is, I don't know, unless it was for, God bless Lego Star Wars.
But I certainly really enjoy the Star Wars movies, and I don't even think I had ever seen this one fully beginning to end, really.
It's long.
I'd seen it, in bits and memes, the gist of it, but this movie's fucking long, and so I kind of wanted to get into, if we could do a quick recap, because I know me as a casual Star Wars fan, they all kind of blend together a little bit as far as, I know that this one's the Anakin Padme one, right? This is the one where Ewan MAYgregor has a mullet, I get it.
The telltale sign.
But, the nuances of the storyline, I was oh, I actually had little to no memory what actually happened in this movie. Yeah. So, a quick recap, I think, would be... If I was a listener, I would appreciate it.
Yeah. So, spoilers ahead. I don't know if... I assume that anyone that listens to this podcast doesn't mind having the entire movie ruined for them.
Yeah, I would hope not.
Yeah, and also, we can never do a quick recap, but I'll try my best. Henry, chime in. Okay. So, pretty much, it takes place,
10 years.
10 years after The Phantom Menace. Anakin is now 19 years old.
Okay, but Padme has aged... a day. And Anakin used to be a toddler, and now he's, fully a man.
Yeah. And him and Obi Wan have been, fucking off around the galaxy. They're this little duo, and they've been tasked with protecting Padme because...
she's gonna get assassinated.
Yeah, there have been multiple attempts on her life, and this girl does not give a fuck. She's like, bodyguards? Ew, no way.
She's like, but I love democracy.
Yeah. So pretty much what ends up happening is Anakin gets sent off with Padme back to her home planet of Naboo to just vibe, really.
To fall in love.
Yeah, to fall in love.
To
frolic in the meadows.
Yeah, go on a picnic. Why would they send her back to her home planet? They're there have been assassination attempts, so you should go to your house. That seems like the safest place, right? And I think a lot of this could have been avoided if Obi-Wan had just stayed with them.
Yeah.
But,
entirely.
But he had bigger fish to fry.
Yeah,
he had to go figure out the clone situation.
Detective Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
that's
pretty
my
much.
favorite part of this movie. There's two plots going on, and there's one lame one that you hate to watch while it's on, and then there's Obi-Wan's doing the coolest shit of all time.
Yeah.
And it's now Anakin and Padme are riding tick cows. that are...
That was okay. That honestly made that scene worth it for me. Like, that picnic scene is arguably like so hard to watch, the worst. It's just the worst. But then that they're like, oh, you see these giant manatee cow things? Let's hop on them. Yeah. And then Anakin flying off and getting trampled. I was like, okay, that made it worth it.
So yeah, like while they're riding the tick cows, Obi-Wan is like off on, I don't know the name of the planet, but
Camino.
He's off on Camino finding out about this army of clone troopers that has been created unknowingly to the Jedi. And then he's like he's tracking Jango Fett.
Yeah.
Jango Fett.
On his ship, the Slave. His ship is named the Slave.
Slave One.
Slave One.
Oh God.
Which is like kind of badass, but also kind of like pick something else.
Yeah. So Obi-Wan
Pick something else, Django.
Obi-Wan ends up on Geonosis, and he gets captured, and he's having a real tense conversation with Count Dooku, and then, like, Padme and Anakin are like, well, oh, fuck, I almost forgot. Anakin's mom dies, and he goes off, and he kills a whole village.
Not just the men, but the women and the children,
exactly.
too. Yeah.
And then they go, and they're like, well, we gotta go find Obi-Wan, and they end up on Geonosis, and they get captured, and there's this big... arena brawl with like tons of animals, and then all the Jedi show up, and then the Clone Wars happen,
and then the clones attack, which is my favorite. Like the last 20 minutes of this movie when the clones start attacking.
It's literally like a 20-minute montage too,
it's great.
of just the clones.
They attack.
We were like fully 2 hours into this movie, and I turned to Henry and I go, Are the clones? Is there going to be an attack? Are the clones gonna even attack in this movie? Like the titular event. I was like, does that even happen in this one?
They really like get hanging on for
just
that.
You wait, and they do.
Yeah.
But I think it was important to do a rundown because so much shit happens in this movie.
Yeah.
You were like, oh yeah, but Anakin's mom dies. That's like a fully 20-minute fleshed out section of this movie. It is so long and so much happens. It's a wild ride.
Yeah.
And people who hate this movie have some ground to stand on. You know, it's bad.
It's a whack movie.
It's
no
bad.
Doubt.
It's not.
It's bad in the best ways.
Exactly.
The way that I would
it's
say
so
it.
fun to watch. I had a blast and a half watching this movie.
Yeah. I'd say this is probably my favorite one to watch from like the Star Wars prequels. Like I was just telling you, I watched this like maybe 3 months ago. Just because.
This is honestly, this is one I don't revisit that much, and I'm kind of glad that I haven't watched it a lot recently, because I kind of went in with a bit more of a fresh take. This movie is awful, and I loved every second of it.
Yeah.
It's just like the dialogue sucks. The CGI is like very much from 2005 or whatever.
2002, yeah. It just pains my heart, the turn that these early 2000s Star Wars movies took, because the practical effects in the original Star Wars are so cool. Like the paintings that they used for the wide shots and the puppetry, you know. I love a puppet. I love a Frank Oz Yoda moment. And they just literally almost 100% of this movie was filmed in front of a green screen.
Yeah. And it really shows a lot of the time. Like every scene.
And
they haven't shot anything outside in a while for Star Wars.
No. They don't see the light of day. They start getting really pale and translucent, their skins, because they just keep them locked in these stages.
I know Hayden Christensen said his favorite scene to film was the one where he and Obi-Wan are in the bar looking for that lady who tried to assassinate Padme.
Yeah.
Because that was the only time he was on a set.
Yeah.
He was like, we got the bar set was really fun because I wasn't just in front of a green screen.
I think that kind of, there's a reason that all the dialogue is so clunky. Partially because it's
George Lucas.
Yeah, partially because it's very poorly written. But also because the actors have nothing to interact with or like to get immersed with. The behind the scenes footage is all just like these big blue sound stages. You know, it's just like, even on like in episode 3 and stuff like that, when the CGI is a bit better, the whole Mustafar fight is ridiculous. It's hilarious to watch the behind the scenes thing because they're jumping around from like foam pad to foam pad. You know, I don't know. I love it.
One thing that I thought was crazy was I was doing a little research about the movie afterwards. Like, not even all of the clones were like real. Like, the only things that were, like, ever real on them were the helmets and the boots, and everything else was just CGI.
Yeah, I heard they did not make a single full, like, clone trooper outfit.
Yeah, exactly.
None of them are practical.
It's so unfortunate because you look at the shots that have no people in them, right? When they're doing, like, an expositional, scene shot, and it's not bad.
Yeah.
If this whole movie was animated, you'd be like, wow, it's 2002. They have really good animation technology, but then you stick a person in the middle of it, and the contrast is so jarring that it completely removes you. Like, we specifically paused and were really talking about the diner scene.
Yeah.
What's the guy's name with the forearms?
Dexter.
Yeah. He would be an impressive CGI character if this was an animated film, but just next to a
real person.
Next to a real person, it's just like, ooh, that is just not quite rendered enough.
I did love Dex's mustache, though. I gotta give it to him.
I forgot he had a little mustache in there. Yeah.
He's the best. I love...
He's probably one of my favorite
This is
characters.
why I trust Obi Wan with my life. Somebody who's chill with the owner of a diner. Like, if you walk in and they're like, you want the regular? Like, yes, I know that you...
Yeah.
That's a man who loves breakfast.
Right?
Obi-Wan spends, like, a lonely night down at the diner.
Yeah. He gets a cup of Jawa juice.
Yeah, right?
Jawa juice.
all caps at the top of Dara's note page for this movie is Jawa juice. That's the main takeaway from episode 2.
I mean, how can I not? But I just don't think that Hayden Christensen rocks the little rat tail pony combo
Quite like Ewan did in the first
same way
one.
episode 1 Ewan does. Like Padawan Ewan, the energy is right.
Yeah.
The vibes are right.
You know what I think it is? Is that Ewan's humble, Young Obi-Wan knows his place.
Yeah.
Anakin the entire time of this movie is being a little bitch boy. He's talking up, speaking out of turn.
He thinks that he rocks it, which makes him not rock it.
Exactly.
It's
an attitude thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to speak poorly about Obi-Wan because, he is the best.
Yeah.
He is just the best.
Yeah.
But was he not a strict enough dad to Anakin?
know.
Could he have done a better job? Could things have been avoided?
It's one of those things where it's like your parents are like, I'm not your friend. It's like he's his parent, but he is his friend.
Right. There's just this, like, dynamic between the two of them where Anakin will, like, really speak out of turn and be a fuck.
Yeah.
And then Obi-Wan will just kind of roll his eyes and be like, Anakin, you have to listen to me more. And Anakin's like, I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you have to cut off his pinky or something. You gotta make him learn that there are consequences to his actions. He has to fucking learn that he can't fucking act like that. Especially, that's like if you disrespect your parents in public.
Yeah.
Or like when you're throwing a fit at the target and your mom grabs your arm just tight enough to let you know that this is not the fucking time.
Yeah.
That's what Obi-Wan needed to do with Anakin, and it really shows.
Yeah. Especially that first opening scene where he sees Padme for the first time.
Yes.
He talks to him like he's a dog. It's awesome. There's also there's a scene where Anakin is speaking out of turn while he's guarding Padme. He's like, I'm in charge of security here. And Padme's like, actually, no, you're not. This is my house.
They're both kind of bitches.
Dude, and the craziest shit is that, like, how quickly Anakin's just like, oh yeah, fascism's great. Like, yeah, there needs to be like a fascist dictatorship. I love that shit. And like his senator girlfriend, or like this girl who he's trying to seduce is in the Senate in a galactic democracy, and he's like, yeah, my take on politics is that
violence should be involved.
I want a violent dictator to tell people what to do. And she's like, I don't know about that.
Tee, you're so funny, Anakin.
It's like this fascist with a laser sword. You're just like, oh yeah, keep me safe. What the fuck?
Yeah, their whole thing is so fucked. Because at first, I'm like, is this a grooming thing? Because it's like basically if you were gonna fuck the kid you used to babysit. You know, like he's of age
That's
now.
That's the perfect way to put it.
So it's not illegal, but morally it is fucked up. Like she's like, oh, I haven't seen you since you were a baby, and then she's like, looking at him with fuck me eyes, and I'm just like, okay, Padme, calm down. But then it just it's so weird, and the how things transpire between the two of them is so. It happens over the course of like 3 days.
Yeah.
Right? He's not smooth enough either to seduce her that fast.
She says at one point, he's like looking at her like, and and she's like, stop that. It makes me uncomfortable. And I'm like, okay, good for you, Padme, really sticking your ground. But then literally 2 scenes later, she's like, let's make out on my porch.
I shouldn't have done that.
Oh my god.
But I'm so smooth, though. Not like sand.
But just the dynamic between the two of them makes zero sense. Because, like you said, she's all like, I love democracy.
I think at one point she actually says the words, I love democracy.
Yeah. And he's like, negotiations should happen with swords.
Guns and violence, yes.
And
wait, no, sorry, no. I love democracy is a Senator Palpatine. That's a Supreme Chancellor Palpatine line. Excuse me. That's like right after
it's
he
like
gets the
nobody loves democracy more than me.
That's my favorite shit. Right after he becomes a dictator, he's like, I love democracy.
And then like the Looney Tunes circle zooms in on his face. But, like, Padme is literally that girl who posts on Instagram, like, infographics about, like, how to talk to your friends about Black Lives Matter. And, like, shit like that. But, like, her boyfriend did vote for Trump. Yeah. You know, like, come on. How can she not see that he is a fuck?
Padme, we have to control the means of production.
Do you think that so I was thinking about this, you know the way Obi Wan does that little thing where he waves his hand and he's like, you want to go home? And then the person's like, oh, I want to go home. You know, the little mind tricks.
You gotta buy some death sticks.
Do you think that Anakin was using the Force to make Padme fall in love with him?
There was an entire conversation about it in the movie, too, where he was like, no, those only work on the weak-minded when he was talking to her. So I don't think so. I think she's just an idiot. Yeah.
But if she's truly an idiot, then the Jedi mind tricks would work, right?
She's strong-minded, but stupid as hell.
But I just...
Yeah, like, we all know those people.
There's no way. There's no way.
She's book smart, you know? She's not street smart.
But also, like, I cannot believe she got elected.
She was the queen.
Yeah.
14-year-old queen.
My senator.
Yeah. Her resume was thick.
But
they couldn't say no. She's the best applicant they got. They're like,
I guess she also is like when everyone's like, we really gotta make an army. We don't have one of those yet. They're like, it's gotta be Padme. She's gotta be the one to bring it up. Like they're all like, you know, like who's gonna propose the motion? And they're like, it's gotta be Patty. She's our girl.
I remember watching the opening, like, crawl for the, you know, like, the title crawl thing, and thinking, like, they're just getting an army now? It was like the Galactic Empire, or the Galactic Republic you've had for a couple hundred years at this point.
Has never had an army.
Right, there's been no need for an like, what the fuck?
Well, I guess that's good on their part for governing so well that you didn't need a force. But if you're gonna make an army, obviously there's gonna be a war, right? Like they're like, oh, like we gotta get to help out the Jedi with the whole situation that's coming up. But then they all seem kind of surprised. They're like, oh God, the Clone Wars have started.
Yeah, right.
Like you did that.
It happened so fast.
That was a decision you made.
Hey, they didn't know they made it, or at least the Jedi didn't.
Yeah, true.
I do have to say though, that is the best idea for an army. You take the most badass guy, and then you just clone him. You're like, you're really good at fighting. We don't have to train them.
Yeah.
We don't have to, nothing. Yeah. They wiped out his personality. They lobotomized that fucker. They made 1 million of them. Perfect. I don't agree with it, but I think from a strategic standpoint,
it's smart,
pretty solid.
They knew what they were doing.
I wish we saw more like cool clone shit aside from them. Like they walk in a straight line and shoot, and like they pilot their things, but like the clones don't get they get a lot more love in like the TV shows and shit like that. But I don't know, in these movies the clones really just kind of like they show up to shoot stuff. But they don't really get like fleshed out at all, you know. No. They say a couple of like commanders' names every once in a while, but like
the third episode is probably the most where like there's clone action in that. It's like this one's name is Cody, and that's it.
He has a little backpack.
Yeah, he's got the yellow suit, so you know he's in charge.
But I love the Jango Fett, Boba Fett, like, backstory moment we get here. I think that's my favorite little side plot that happens when Obi-Wan, like, goes to talk to those lizard people, and he's like, what the fuck is happening here? And they're like, let's give you a tour. Let's fully flesh out what is happening here for you,
I love
Obi.
how relaxed they are.
Right?
Oh, that sounds really nice. Do you want to see? Yeah, you can see all of our
come on.
clones.
Yeah, this army
Let's show ya.
Let's take you out back.
Yeah, that does sound nice.
It's been ages since we saw you. We were getting a little worried.
But I love that little sequence when he's like, whoa, what the fuck is happening here? And they're like, yeah, this is what's happening. And then he meets Jango Fett, and he's like, oh, I get it now. But then they fight.
Because he's the best goddamn detective we have.
But then they fight, and I wish they could have teamed up. You know, I'm rooting for both of you right now. You know, Django, I get it. He's doing his own thing.
Yeah.
He's a free agent.
Yeah.
You know, he was just there to make clones, to provide his DNA.
To pump seed.
To
pump seed and kill Jedi. And I'm all out of seed.
But when they were there were times when I kind of could see where the quote unquote like villain or like the bad guys, when I could kind of see where they were coming from.
Yeah.
Some of the time, you know, I was like, oh, you guys could just work together. But you know that can't happen because then the movie would just not
it wouldn't
not
make
happen.
any sense.
But like when Jango Fett and Obi-Wan are fighting, I'm like, no, you could just hug.
No, stop it. You're both so cool.
Yeah. Oh, who do I root for? I don't know. I just like that Jango Fett has little Boba Fett, who he is trained to be a fucking badass. He's like 12. He's like homie. Piloting a fucking ship.
Yeah, right?
I'm like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, that might be the only character they make cooler from their original trilogy counterpart. You know, I think like Obi-Wan Kenobi is like obviously cool as fuck in these movies, but like Boba Fett,
you didn't know shit about him in the first, like the original trilogy.
He's got
so
this
like,
cool
he's a freaking
bounty hunter.
Yeah, but I was gonna say a prodigy.
You didn't know he was a young prodigy.
A prodigal bounty hunter.
He's 12 years old and he's got a kill count.
I know, for real.
I like though that Django was like, all of these clones you're making, could you make one for me? Can I get one? Can I get an unlobotomized clone to just hang out with?
Hey, these guys seem pretty cool.
Because they are me. Can I get a son? One son, please. Would you want to, like, you gotta have a lot of confidence in yourself. You gotta you gotta feel pretty good about yourself if they're like, you are the guy that we need 1,000,000 of.
It's like,
and he's like, I'll take one too. Yeah. Like, like I would not want to hang out with a clone of myself.
You wouldn't?
We would not vibe.
What about you, Henry? Would you?
I would love to. Yeah, like I'd love to play video games with myself because I'm so lonely.
But like,
no, I think we'd have a great time. We'd like go out and do activities.
But it's not just like a 1-to-1 clone. Like he wanted
to go bowling with him.
Yeah.
He wanted a kid though. Like he didn't just want. He could have gotten like an adult.
Don't age him up. I'm not looking for a pal.
Yeah, I'm looking for a son. Like, would you want to like get a baby right now? And it is exactly you.
Yeah.
Would you raise yourself? I fucking wouldn't.
I wouldn't raise myself. I agree with Henry. I would hang out with myself as like an adult, but I would not raise myself. I was a little shit.
Yeah. It took a long time for me to be tolerable, you know? Like I'm putting in a lot of work right now.
I think I would just be too self-aware of my personal flaws, and I would be working so hard to undo them with the child that I would fuck them up.
It would end up being worse.
Like I would start.
That's just being a mother.
Fuck.
Oh my god.
Shit. Oh my god.
We can never have kids.
But I was just like, interesting choice, Django. You really love yourself, huh? You just got a lot of self-love to want to raise yourself again, like to just do it.
He probably did a lot of therapy beforehand.
Right?
Gosh, I hope so.
I mean,
some Kaminoan therapy. They're just like, that sounds really great. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we'll give you like 4 sons. Yeah. No, just one. Okay.
But he clearly does a good job because Boba fucking rocks.
Yeah.
Great kid.
Yeah. What a great kid.
We haven't gotten through our rundown yet. We
generally ran it down.
Well, so there's the clones attack, but then there's the epic lightsaber fight afterwards. That's like the another huge moment.
The Samuel L. Jackson with his purple lightsaber.
No, we're talking after with Count Dooku.
You get Anakin with 2 lightsabers and Jumpy Yoda.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Jumpy Yoda does not make any goddamn sense. That's always something I'm just like, okay.
Right. He like can't walk. He's like, you see him like before in the Jedi Temple, he's being carried around on this little platform, which, mind you, if I had one of those, my feet would never touch the ground again. But he literally, like, he's pretty much in a wheelchair.
No, he's saving his energy.
Right.
He's like, I gotta save up because when it happens, it needs to happen.
Like, I just Yoda does not have to be good with the lightsaber. You know what I mean? Yeah. I get he's
just so
like
wise.
Right. Like he can be like powerful, like moving stuff around with the Force, but just like him being a good duelist is like it'd be like if you made Kermit like a sword fighter. You know, like it just doesn't.
Hey, I think it adds up.
Well, yeah, it's a bad example actually, but it always just like so many parts, so much of this movie takes me out of the movie. That scene in particular, right at the end, is just like
I loved the jumping Yoda.
I loved him too.
I loved it.
Another thing about that scene was Obi Wan gets nicked by a lightsaber. He's got like two little burns on his arm and his leg, and he is down for the count.
Incapacitated for the rest of
the He gets little taps.
Yeah, like, okay, Anakin got like 40 million volts to the chest.
Anakin got his arm cut off,
and he was far better in than Obi Wan was.
Yeah,
he rebounded like that.
After he got his arm cut off, he was like still conscious and like looking around.
Yeah,
like, Obi Wan was knocked out. Like he got like 2 taps and he was just gone.
His pain tolerance is at 0.
Yeah, Obi Wan is kind of a bitch. I'm not gonna lie. Like he hates flying. Like he's just barely good enough to survive.
You know who? I just really think that this whole thing would have benefited from Liam Neeson. You know, if he didn't die in the first movie, he could have contributed so much to that team.
Do you think though that Qui-Gon would have left with Dooku and joined the Separatists?
I found myself rooting for the Separatists the whole time.
Yeah. No, for real? I was like, Count Dooku, you make some points.
Yeah.
And,
it's like, I could be persuaded.
Yeah, when he's talking to Obi-Wan, he's like, hey, there's, the Dark Lord of the Sith runs your government. And he's like, there's no way. That could never happen.
Dude, I love it because he tells them the entire thing, and Obi-Wan's just like, no, I don't think so. You're fucking with me.
He lays it all out for Obi-Wan, and then Obi-Wan tells the other masters, and they're like, oh, yeah, no, he's playing. That's ridiculous. They could never.
They didn't give it a second thought.
No, they did not. They did not consider that for even a moment.
After Palpatine has just been given emergency.
Yeah, I was like, that guy
busting to give an emergency powers. Fucking Jar Jar collapses a galactic government. Dude.
Oh
yeah, he really toppled it.
What a beast.
Yeah. Jar Jar's Big Adventure.
He really is the clumsiest.
Yeah.
as a person and in politics.
Like, so I thought the first movie Palpatine becomes Chancellor. And then in this movie, he becomes Supreme Chancellor. Is that right?
Yeah.
Like, does he just like...
They just tacked that onto the title.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They were like...
He actually just gets, like, all the Supreme gear. He just shows up to the next meeting with, like, the Supreme headband
Drips
on.
the fuck out. Yeah.
Palpatine is a hype beast.
That guy you just gave full dictatorship power to...
He's a fuckboy.
He is not good.
He's a total fuckboy. You had no idea.
But you know who, like, shouldn't be allowed to hold a lightsaber? Is fucking Anakin. This whole movie... Speaking of clumsy, this whole movie, he just is dropping it. He's just constantly dropping his lightsaber, which I know is like the foreshadowing to the moment where he does the 2, which is like cool or whatever, because he can hold 2 now, I guess. Throughout the whole movie, he cannot hold 1.
Yeah. They need to put like a little Wii strap on the end of his lightsaber,
like Wii bowling, and it just goes through the wall. Yeah, he needs a little condom. The squishy condoms you would put around the Wii thing. So it did you ever have those? Yeah. He needs one of those for his lightsaber. Yeah, the little grippy. Anakin fucking sucks. I hate that scene where he's on the conveyor belt. And he's, like, ducking and dodging through the... I'm like, you could just walk in the... it's a slow treadmill.
It's a little on the nose, too, when he starts, like, getting turned into a robot. I'm just like, ooh, he might become Darth Vader later. Ooh, things that
I could be wrong.
I do think though, there's something to say about him being so unlikable in these movies. Like, at no point in this film was I ever rooting for him, even a little bit.
I think that's the more I'm thinking about it, it's probably the intention, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'd like to think that it's just George Lucas being awful at writing dialogue, but like, I think Anakin's supposed to be kind of a bad guy. You know, he does turn into Darth Vader pretty quick. You know?
He's so like, where's my hug?
For real.
Like, literally, he's like, where's my hug, Padme? And then she does it. She gives him the hug, and that's why a fucking genocide happens. You never hug the where's my hug guy. You gotta say no. And then this whole thing could have been avoided. A whole genocide. If Padme could have just fucking kept it in her pants.
For real.
For the kids she used to babysit.
Yeah.
Padme, you are a hot senator with prospects.
So many prospects.
I was pissed, though, that fucking Keira Knightley was no longer the body double.
Oh, yeah.
It was Rose Byrne.
Who's this Corday bitch?
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
no.
Who cares? Yawn.
Run.
Get her out of here.
No. But I
Give
think,
me Kira.
I think that Padme and one of her handmaidens should just run off to the cottagecore lesbians.
Yeah, on Naboo.
On
She's
Naboo.
She's
Yes.
already got
Right.
the cottage.
Oh, man, it's a beautiful cottage
Yeah.
on the water.
Yeah, right? Oh my god.
I think that would be the story I would want.
I agree with you there.
It'd be really smooth. There'd be no sand.
No
anywhere.
sand.
No sand whatsoever.
She's like, we used to just like get naked and roll around in the sand. And Anakin's like, I cannot stand by that.
he's like, hey,
Don't tell me that.
I don't mean to be out of pocket right now, but do not talk about sand. Like, don't.
He starts having like flashbacks. It's like, do you know what you're doing right now? You just ruined my whole week.
No, I hate the texture of sand.
Oh my god, but he is so the textbook of like toxic masculinity. Like when he was like having bad dreams and she was like, hey, are you having bad dreams? He was like, no, Jedis don't have bad dreams. I'm like,
Big boys are all grown up. I didn't make pee-pee or poo-poo in my bed. I did not.
I do think this whole movie would have been so better if Anakin just talked like a baby, like did baby talk the whole time. I don't like the sand. It's irritating. It gets everywhere.
I didn't just kill the daddies. I killed the mommies and the babies too.
I think because then you would really just see him for who he is.
He's a little boy. He's a little baby boy.
Should we do chocolate and vanilla?
Oh my god, yeah, a little interim. So Jen is so lovely. She was really bummed that we were going to do this while she was at work because she, not only is she just our unpaid intern, but she does have a job that she has to go to.
Which I wish she.
It's because we aren't paying her enough, guys. She had to get a second job.
She's being paid.
Buy our merch and we can pay her.
She's being paid in the opportunity to be famous.
We're paying her an experience.
I want Jen to get a stan following.
Oh my god.
She deserves one.
Yeah, she so does. But so she was like, I am sad I'm not going to be there for chocolate and vanilla, but she was like, can I do it by proxy and can I give you a list? And so I'm going to...
She was prepared to call.
Yeah, yes.
She phoned in.
Yeah, she was like, can I call? And I was like,
I'm gonna cancel all my appointments.
Yeah, right. I'm like, you're busy. Like, you're at your job. So she wrote this. I haven't looked at it yet either. I didn't want to have any predisposed opinion formation.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be Jen. I could never hold up to her, but I will try my best. So chocolate or vanilla?
Vanilla.
Chocolate.
Chocolate. Oh, she wrote it twice. This is a sci-fi edition, so she made it a theme.
Oh, nice.
C-3PO or R2-D2?
R2-D2.
R2-D2.
R2-D2. I do want to say that R4 in this movie slaps so hard.
Dude,
Bro, he never gets the credit he deserves, and then he's just murdered in the third one.
R4 does what he's told. Okay, he sets up a satellite lickety split. He's like, Obi-Wan's like, hey, give me a satellite. He's like, okay, boom,
Done.
There's a satellite. A satellite pops out of the ship.
Yeah.
Did they even have one before? I don't know.
He fully got decapitated in the opening scene for the third one, though.
Just
and
gets
it's
shot right in the head.
It's like, damn, I'm sorry, man. A warrior's funeral, I suppose.
So, Mad Max or Furiosa? From the movie Mad Max.
Furiosa.
Yeah, Furiosa.
Yeah.
We love a
Furiosa.
bald bitch. We love a bald bitch in charge.
She slaps.
Yeah.
Snowpiercer or the Snowpiercer TV show? Have you seen the TV show? I haven't.
I haven't seen the TV show, so
I've
I'll
only
see the
seen.
movie.
Yeah, I've only seen the movie with Chris Evans being gritty.
I have not seen either.
Oh, it's pretty good. It's a Bong Joon-ho.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's really good. I guess I would be intrigued to watch the TV show because I did enjoy the movie. Luke or Han?
Luke.
I'm gonna go with Han.
Yeah, this is so hard. I guess I have to say Luke. He's so good. He's so good.
Yeah, he's oozing goodness.
He's so good.
Star Trek or Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Original Blade Runner or Blade Runner 2049, which I didn't see. I hate the original Blade Runner.
I'll say 2049 just because it's Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, I like 2049.
And like a nice color palette and
Yeah,
Ana de Armas
gorgeous.
in a blue wig.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Sorry, excuse me, giant Ana de Armas in a blue wig.
You're not supposed to say that you don't like Blade Runner. Like that's I don't know.
I'm not supposed to say. Well, I'll say it. The original Blade Runner is a bad movie. And I'll die on that hill.
I did not have a fun time watching. I got to be honest.
I got like halfway through it and I just turned it off. I wasn't invested at all. They did nothing for me.
People talk about it all the time as like a, I don't know. It's like a sci-fi staple. You know? But I don't know. I couldn't get into it.
Watch Alien.
Yeah.
Watch Alien instead. That's all I have to say. Not that they are, interchangeable in any way, but it's just a better movie.
They're not too dissimilar.
E.T. or Groot?
Ooh. Groot.
Ooh.
I don't know.
I'm gonna say E.T. I love that motherfucker. He got no legs.
I'll say Groot.
I'll go with Groot as well.
I like Groot.
Interstellar or Gravity?
Interstellar.
Interstellar for sure.
Interstellar.
Fun fact, Henry and I had our first kiss at the movie theater during the movie Gravity.
While Sandra Bullock was panting.
Panting in space. And we were like, this sucks. Do you want to kiss? Terminator or RoboCop?
Terminator.
Yeah, Terminator.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
AKA Terminator.
she said this one is to be sung, but I don't know this one. So Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Do you know?
Nope. Not a clue.
I don't know that one. Or Star Wars, the intro music for Star Wars. Yeah. So I'm going to pick that one.
I'll go with Star Wars. We can listen to the Close Encounters
Is Close Encounters also with John Williams?
I don't know. I think it's just like an iconic, four-note situation.
Oh, fair enough.
I know it's like the aliens come and they communicate with music or something. I don't know. I don't know anything.
John Williams did go pretty hard in this one. He goes hard in every Star Wars, but I was just sitting there thinking, I was like, this man was doing lines before getting in the studio and conducting. Like, he was off it.
He was popping off.
He does not know how to relax.
No.
Yeah, I think if at any point during your Star Wars viewing experience you're like not really feeling it, just close your eyes and listen, and that's all you need.
Right. There's the score, but also Star Wars sound effects. I think are so cool. That is like.
I'll agree with you there.
Visually, this movie is not as impressive to by a modern standard, but the audio is just so freaking cool. Like the way they get all these noises and like the speeder bike chase. Where like Zam's weird like 2-pronged speeder, the noise that makes, I don't know, all of it just sounds so cool.
Yeah, I read that they had this sound that they had been waiting to use for ages, which was they had recorded flies on the horse ranch of Skywalker Studios.
Nice.
And they hadn't used it like forever. It'd been like in their vault for ages or whatever. And finally they were like, oh my god, let's put flies around Watto just so we can use the sound.
And it's great.
Yeah.
And it's good. I do remember being like, is Watto especially stinky today? Because I do not recall there being like a visual cloud of dust and bugs around him.
It's like Pigpen in the Peanuts.
He was looking pretty dirty.
Yeah, he was looking bad.
He was down on his luck after the pod race.
That neck beard was looking rough.
Yeah, it grew out quite a bit more. Like he had been like trimming it before.
Yeah.
He was like, Anakin, great to see you. I did sell your mom. And if you could help me out and do some of the slave tasks that you used to do.
If you wanna threaten someone with your lightsaber, that'd be great. Actually, as soon as he sees Anakin, he's like, "Oh, you're a Jedi? Do you want to kill someone?
Do you want to do free labor for me?
Like, I remember you're that little fascist boy that I used to take care of. Want to go do something?
He used to kill frogs out back. Can you do that again?
Do you remember that time you killed a Jawa with your hands?
But okay, the whole situation where he returns to Tatooine.
Oh my god.
And he's like, I'm having these dreams about my mom, but no, I'm not. And I need to...
But they're not dreams. I'm not dreaming. I'm not having a bad dream.
He's like, I'm just
not scared.
I'm catching a vibe that Smee needs my help. And so then he rolls up on Tatooine, and it's, to me, it is so funny that he just like took Padme with him for some reason.
She said, I'm going. I want to see your dead mom.
So bad.
This breakdown is going to be so bad for you. I gotta see this.
She didn't think, though. Like, he gave her no warning. Like, hey, like, we're basically visiting an impoverished nation, so you might want to, like, dress it down. No. She shows up in full Met Gala looks.
For real.
She's been here before, too. She knows the entire deal.
Yeah, right.
She was like, yo, I gotta stunt on these poor bitches.
Gotta show them who's boss.
Like gold-studded, like, tiaras and shit.
Oh my gosh, she's just like having dinner in their house, and they're all like in literal rags. And yeah, she has like gold plates in her hair.
Yeah, she looks like she's going to like a music festival or some shit. Yeah. So this is her Coachella outfit.
She's ready for Coachella.
Like, Padme, read the room.
Yeah, she's wearing like a blue belly shirt. She looks like Jasmine.
A single one of her earrings could pay off their debts.
Yeah.
She just...
Yeah, she could free so many slaves. With the things that she's wearing.
But also, it's just like...
It's like, I'm busy watching my boyfriend have a mental breakdown.
No, he's
I can't be bothered.
He's really spiraling right now. This is awesome.
I need to be here for him. Yeah. But it was so heavy-handed that, like, he shows up and his mom is tied up and alive just to use her last breaths to tell him that she loves him, and then she dies in his arms. Are you kidding me? You couldn't have held on a little longer, Smee?
She does this, and okay, so the performances in that scene weren't awful. They weren't awful. They were decent. I'll give him to that. Okay. I'll give him that. I think that the actress that played Shmi was all right. Which was something to say because most of the performances in this movie are bad.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm not thrown off by this. I'm actually kind of enjoying this. And then she goes and, like, you know when actors and actresses die and they do that, like, that telltale head tilt or whatever.
Okay, I'm about to die and now I'm dead.
She went balls to the walls on that. Like, if Shmi wasn't already dead, she's dead now because she broke her neck.
She breaks her own neck, slinging it back to note, I'm dead now.
Yeah, that
took me out of it. I was like,
oh. No, I do think, like, Hayden Christensen's performance in that scene is actually, like, it looks wonky, but if you interpret it as someone with an underdeveloped, like, emotional state in general, you know, or someone who has had to, like, suppress their emotions for a while, like, not being able to grieve for their mother.
Yeah.
That actually, like, his performance kind of makes sense there.
Yeah.
He looks like someone who's like, I don't know how to deal with this at all. I've not been emotionally prepared for this.
Yeah, and the first thing he does is kill.
Honestly, though, I kind of got it, you know?
What do you mean?
If Jen died in my arms, I would also go apeshit. Like,
yeah, no, it's entirely, like, valid.
It would kill so many sandy people.
Like,
you would go to the sandiest place you could find and murder.
I don't know about the whole the execution of the whole village. That was a bit much.
The women and the children.
The women and the children.
He killed all the dogs too. He doesn't say that. He kills all those sand dogs. It's like the first thing he does is kill a sand.
But
dog.
the fact that he whips out his lightsaber and immediately beheads the two people outside, I get it.
Yeah,
Reasonable.
Yeah, you're in a blind rage.
It's legit.
I think he could have stopped there. Or at least, like...
Well, if once he started, like, they're all gonna come at him. So...
Or, like, find the person who bought her? I don't know. Or, like, it captured her.
I just wish they showed more Rampage. Like, if
they really went light on that.
Yeah, they just show, like, Anakin, like, he kills 2 Tusken Raiders, and then he has, like, an angry look on his face.
Yeah.
If they showed him, like the part where they should cut away is him, like, going into a hut with, like, a woman and her child.
Yeah.
That's when you cut it. Like, you don't have to show me... You don't have to show him killing the women and the children, but, like, imply it a little more heavily than that. You know?
Than just a...
Because all you see in that little Tusken Raider camp is, like, a bunch of dudes with guns and their dogs. You don't really, like... There's, like, a couple of, like, shadowy small people. You know, there's, like, some maybe children on around. But, like, I think if you do that scene you really show Anakin being a real dick.
I don't think that they could, like, really go, like, that hard, though, because there's so much more, like, character arc to go, like, in terms of him, like, becoming more and more of an asshole and then turning into Darth Vader.
It just feels so cheap to have him say, I killed the women and the children, too.
Yeah.
And then, like, have no evidence of that visually.
I agree. They could have done a little more, for sure.
Yeah.
I really liked the, like, the Microsoft PowerPoint type thing, the wipes that they do, like it just like zooms it like a really tight circle on his face, like, and then it's like, oh, he's having a rampage.
The music in that scene too is awesome. I did that like the. It's like it just sounds like a. That was a really good impression of that shit. By the way.
Do you do acapella?
You know, I dabble. No, but like the score for that. When he like starts like freaking out, is like I don't know. Yeah. It's very over the top and it's a lot of fun. I like
agree.
It quite a bit.
So I decided at the beginning of this movie that I was just going to make it my truth that like Hayden Christensen is fine. He's a fine actor. That's Topher Grace. And if you just watch this movie telling yourself that that's Topher Grace,
it's a way better film.
It's a great film. It is awesome. I
wonder if he auditioned.
I hope so. And I just, you know, hey, like I said, Hayden Christensen, no hate, but in my reality, you don't exist. That's Topher. Yeah.
Do you think Topher Grace would have done a better job?
I know in my reality, nothing changes. The movie's the exact same. That's just him.
Yeah. I feel like he might have been able to do a better job, but it might have been like just a half step up.
Yeah, if they let Anakin be more awkward, it would have been cool. Like he kind of like tries to present as like a serious guy.
Yeah.
If they made him more like bumbly and like awkward and shit, I think that would have been better. If he like stumbled over his words more.
Yeah.
It sounds like he's reciting poetry every time he talks. It sounds like this is something he wrote down before.
Well, yeah, and that's the work of George Lucas. I feel like we can't credit his acting performance to himself.
Yeah.
I know there were a couple scenes where George Lucas was like, I just scrap the whole thing, just do some improv.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Like between him and Padme, he's like, can you guys just have a conversation? He's like, because he was like, I hate what I wrote and it seems so unnatural, and it still seems unnatural. Like it's just a bummer.
Yeah, no, I heard, what is it? The scene where they're like eating dinner together and he's like forcing pears down her throat or whatever.
My favorite.
He was like, yeah, like improv it, just improv it a little bit, and it got so dirty so fast. They're like, cut it, we can't use that. They're like, George, get back in the writer's room. He's like, fuck.
But my favorite little detail about that scene is when he slices off the pear and he uses the force to give it to her. When the pear like enters her mouth, it is worth looking up. Like the pear going into her mouth is like all of that CG.
Yeah,
it looks ridiculous. It looks like the pear goes like down the side of her face a little and then like disappears.
And then she takes a little nibble, and then the pear pulls away so you can see the nibble that she took.
It's like half eaten.
Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny. Padme was ready to fuck that night because they were out in the fields having a good day, and she wore her sundress. Yeah. She looked cute. She's like, it's time for dinner. I'm getting into full BDSM daddy leather.
Oh my god, right?
She has a dinner outfit, and then she switches into a nightgown afterwards
for the
fireside chat.
Oh, the fireside chat is so awful. It's so bad.
But just like her costume changes, I'm always like, whoa. Can we talk about it?
I know she doesn't like dress herself either. She's got like handmaids or whatever, like to follow her around and do it for her. Like, I'm sure they're not getting paid enough.
Not at all.
Honestly, if I were to be the hitman who was going to assassinate Padme, I would just simply do it while she's getting her hair done for 7 hours in the morning. Those hairdos, there is a 3-hour minimum.
These ones were far less elaborate than the first one.
True.
We do have to give her credit there. She's toned down since her time as the queen.
She's not wearing any crowns made of her own hair.
But she is like, she does have like gold pleated tiaras in her coiled hair. Her hair does not, nobody's hair looks like that. The curls, those curls.
The ringlets.
The little, no way.
The Princess Leia honeycomb hair, but it's made out of bees. It's made out of actual honeycomb.
But that is 3 hours minimum in the chair. Come on. I would have just, She's got to stay still.
I think her most simple outfit was probably that white one. Which
she finally changes into for when the fighting gets,
on Geonosis.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, you could have been wearing this the whole time. You didn't have to go that hard. I mean,
even that's still like a little bit like Nike. Like I take pictures of myself at the gym.
For sure. Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. One thing about that whole sequence when they're all on Geonosis, it's just the stupid little plot holes in this movie that really like give me that buzz. You know what I mean? Is that in like one of the opening scenes, there's the two smartest little centipedes you've ever seen.
Yes!
Those motherfuckers.
Right?
Yeah.
They're the smartest bugs you've ever seen in your life.
They are trained. They are trained to be sneaky and to
Precision.
kill.
Precision and stealth.
Yes.
100 maxed out.
I love those things. Yes.
So those things are crawling all over Padme in her room, and Anakin can sense it. And he goes barging in there, nearly slices her throat in half. But then they're on Geonosis, and they're walking through this little cave, and there's 50 bugs. There's hiding in the walls, and he doesn't realize a damn thing.
There aren't walls, there's just bugs.
Exactly.
It's just a wall of bugs.
This is like where they sleep. They're in bed right now, and they're like, hey, what's this guy doing here?
I hear something. What could that be? Maybe it's the entire wall of bugs.
Oh, I love the scene with the killer centipedes. Because they drill through the glass, right? And they release them in, and R2 is like sensing motion. He's like beep 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 beep, and they hide. They're like, get behind the bed.
I would say that those centipedes have a higher IQ than I do.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy to say that like they were closer to killing Padme than Zam was, you know?
Yeah, right.
The centipedes did a much better job than their human counterparts.
Yeah, no. I like there's that whole thing too where it's like the chain of command and who's doing what in terms of that assassination plot is insane. Because it's like it starts with like, okay, Palpatine tells Dooku to go and kill Padme, and then Dooku goes and tells Jango Fett to go and kill Padme, and then Jango Fett goes and tells this changer to go and kill Padme, and then this changer sends bugs.
It's been subcontracted like 5 times.
Yeah, I want to know what the payroll looks like on this thing.
For real,
Do the bugs get a stipend?
I wouldn't be surprised.
They get treats.
There's some fucking money laundering going on here.
I would say though that my favorite moment of this whole film, where I audibly screamed during our watching, is they realize the bugs. Yeah. Anakin comes in, whoosh whoosh whoosh. He kills the bugs. Obi Wan dives through the fucking window.
Yeah, he
doesn't give it a second thought.
He does not stop he just runs through the door and runs out the window.
Yeah.
I think he was going to jump out the window regardless of whether or not there was a robot there. It's like, where are the bugs?
Yeah, and then he fucking latches on to this.
Yeah, no, that was really sexy of him.
I think that's the most like badass feat of this entire movie. Yeah, that's the coolest thing anyone does.
Obi-Wan's not afraid to do that, but he hates flying. He's like, I will ride this little robot drone for as long as I can, but put me in a speeder and I'm gonna throw up.
Oh geez, I don't like this very much.
You get a little car sick. It's like, I'll do skydiving, but I don't like cars.
Like, he didn't take his Dramamine.
I was gonna say, it's like, Anakin, is there Dramamine in the glove box? It's like, sorry, I don't think so. Fuck!
I also love in that car chase scene, so they're like in this what's it called, the speeder? They're in the speeder, and just Anakin just ladybird dives out of the moving vehicle as it's going. And Obi-Wan's like, this kid, again, come on.
Yeah, right. He says, I hate it when he does that. Yeah. Like, he does this shit all the time.
Yeah.
Even when he just jumps out of a moving car.
I do really like that chase scene, but I also do really like the arena fight before the Jedi show up.
Yeah. Yes.
I think that's probably one of my favorites. And I also, this brought on a question is, which animal do you feel like you could fight? If you were a Jedi and you were, like, skilled, which one of those 3 big-ass animals do you feel like you could take on?
Okay, so it seems like the easiest one to take care of is the the weird like tiger rat that Padme has to deal with because like she just kind of she whips it once with the chain and it's just kind of like all right, you're not really worth it.
I personally don't have the arm strength to get up on that big giant ledge though, and if I was like on the ground facing that thing, I couldn't do it.
So you also have to be able to pick your lock too with like
your bobby pin.
I think I would personally go for the rhino type thing. It just seems a little dumb. It's like I'm not as smart as the centipede, but I am smarter than the rhino.
On a scale of rhino to centipede, I'm about
it, Anakin.
But yeah, I would say that like that scene where Padme climbs up on the top and then she just starts kind of using the chain to just kind of like, I'm like, is that really the best you can do? I guess it works a little bit. But
also, she gets scratched and like the wounds like immediately like cauterize themselves.
Yeah, right.
She's
not bleeding it out at all, and there's like 3 giant gashes across her back.
Yeah. Like, have you seen this thing?
Her outfit is white.
Yeah, for like
come on.
She should be covered in blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
someone needs to kill Padme.
She's actually like a pretty solid fighter though, apparently, because she doesn't get fucking hit once. She's pretty solid with a gun.
She whoops ass.
Yeah,
she does fall into the sand though. That is
true.
She does fall.
Hey, you can be a good fighter and still have terrible balance.
Yeah, have terrible like public transportation etiquette. Hold on to the goddamn handrail.
Yeah, right. Yeah, oh my god. That whole scene where Anakin starts scream crying because she fell out of the ship.
Oh my god.
She literally landed in some soft sand. I know how much you hate sand.
He's like, we're over.
I can't leave her with that sand. Yeah. It's gonna be coarse. It's gonna be all over. It's gonna be irritating.
Yeah. That bitch's wounds are gonna be infected after that. But Obi Wan fully, like, that's when he went, like, full, like, parent mode. And he was like, shut the fuck up.
He's like,
that needed to happen so much before.
Yeah,
that.
no. Like, that was the straw that broke the camel's back? Jesus, Obi Wan, you're pretty tolerant.
I love his mullet in this movie, though.
So good.
I love the mullet, but I also hate the mullet. It's a love-hate relationship.
There's one scene where it's wet.
That I can get behind.
Oh my god, Ewan MAYgregor with a wet mullet? Are you kidding me? Ooh. That's the photo I'm gonna show the hairdresser to be like, that's what I want.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. I remember once when I was like 8 or 9 years old, I was Obi Wan for Halloween.
Nice.
And I slicked back my hair and did the whole thing.
That's amazing.
You're gonna have to find the picture.
That's so good. I know there's that like framed photo in your house of like your face superimposed onto Leia.
Oh yeah,
it's so good.
Ryan's face is on Luke.
Yeah,
it's really good. I'll find that. So what would we pair with this movie for food and drink?
Jawa juice, bitch.
See, what is that though?
It's just a cup of coffee, right?
It can be anything you want.
Or it's like that's like it's whatever Dexter wants to put in your cup.
Yeah. The Jawa juice. We have like perfect for this movie is we have little tiki cups that look like Jawas.
Oh yeah.
So that would truly be anything you put in the Jawa tiki cup is Jawa juice.
Yeah, have a Jawa tiki drink.
Yeah.
I personally had an idea for one of them, just based on, the scene in the bar, right? So
the shot, he takes like a blue shot,
it's
right?
like this glowing blue shot, right? And so thankfully, my mom got me this little bartending book for Christmas or whatever, which is really nice, and I've gone through a lot of recipes. But so it's called a kamikaze, and so. Apparently, there's a couple of different ways you can make it, but the way I make it, it's a double shot, and it's 1 part vodka, and then 1 part blue curacao, then 1 part lemon juice, and that's it. And
that's great. That sounds lovely.
It's easy. It's super easy.
If
you want to rip a double shot,
I love adding citrus.
Yeah.
I love adding citrus to my shot. If you do like 3/4 of your shot is like whatever you want, and then you just top it with lime juice, it makes it so much more tolerable going down. It's great.
It's fine. That's exactly what this is, and it looks just like the Obi-Wan's little blue drink or whatever. So if you want to be really thematic with it,
and they also do have the blue milk. So I think if at any point you want to have a blue milk type drink,
Papa blue milk,
Papa quick blue milk.
Yes.
And I still stand by what I said about the first Star Wars, that you should have sand. Your food should be sand pudding. Now more than ever.
Yeah, no, you're right. This one makes a lot more sense. I agree with you on that.
Pear. You could do
I was gonna say
something
pear,
with pears.
Yeah, you could do a fun little pear cocktail as well.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, for food, definitely some sort of like...
Yeah, they eat soup in one scene, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I don't think you want to be eating soup, drinking soup, doing your thing.
We had like chips with like queso and guac, and it was.
I also had nachos.
Ooh, yeah. So we were all on the same
same wavelength. Yeah.
Which was, I think, just like shoveling handfuls of. Watching this movie pretty drunk is the way you should do it.
Yeah, if you can't do it, it's such a bad good movie that I feel like it's almost a requirement.
Yeah, don't watch it to take it seriously.
Yeah,
for sure.
But yeah, I think like chips and things like that. Like you don't need a full meal for this. You don't need hors d'oeuvres.
Well, this is a movie that you start at like 11 p.m.
Yeah,
you know?
don't invest any emotional or physical energy into this movie.
Whatever chips you have in your pantry will do. Get some Doritos. Whatever you want.
Those old ass Takis that have been sitting there for a couple weeks. Now's the time.
Yeah, you like reach way back in the pantry and just grab whatever you can find.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we fucking, marrying, and killing?
See, the hard thing about this is everyone's so sexy in this movie.
It is.
This is probably like the hottest Star Wars movie.
That is true.
I will stand by. I'm still marrying Watto.
Oh my God, Henry! No.
He's my ride or die. I'm sorry. I don't care if he sells me.
Hold on. We gotta run with the main three first because we always do the main three first. Which is really tough because they're all so hot.
What are the main three? Are going to be
Obi Wan, Padme, and Anakin. Yeah.
Okay. Jesus Christ. I think this is easy. I think you marry Obi Wan, you fuck Padme, and you kill Anakin.
I think that's honestly the only course of action.
That's the only way it can be.
Yeah.
Unless you want to marry Padme for her money and status, I guess.
But she's bad. If you have any sort of fascist tendencies or anything like that, she will foster them. You know? she will really enable you. You know? She's not a very good girlfriend.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to say I would kill Anakin, but a little he's pretty sexy. He's pretty hot.
I'd be like, oh, but you're so cute though.
Exactly.
I'm more
like, give me a little kiss and then I'll stab you.
Not so much in this movie, but in the when he goes full villain.
See, I don't like his hair in that one.
Oh, that's my favorite part. Oh, the greasy. I love
I'd prefer Obi Wan's mullet to his weird little mullet.
His dark side.
Yeah.
Oh no, I really like it. I love.
He looks like a little cross boy.
Yeah.
It's got the flow.
Oh my God, yeah. But he doesn't know how to use conditioner.
No, never once. Padme's got her 7-step skin and hair routine, and Anakin just uses the 3-in-1
bar soap.
Yeah.
For every part.
A bar of Dove.
Exactly.
And then for the
whole movie,
it's so hard. Oh, it's so hard.
I'd marry Count Dooku.
I was thinking that as well.
I would kill Newt Gunray. And I would marry Mace. Or no, I'd fuck Kiadi Mundi.
Okay. Well, he knows how to lay pipe.
Yeah.
That's his job, basically.
Yeah, he's the dude with the wives.
He's working overtime.
He is.
I was also thinking Count Dooku. I get it. Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
He can get it.
What a catch.
Yeah. This is so hard because I also love Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
He's so great. I feel like you gotta kill Anakin. You just have to kill Anakin. But you know who else I kind of want to kill?
Who?
Is that fucking bitch at the library.
Yeah.
Why?
Because Obi-Wan comes in and says, I am looking for information and you don't have it. And she says, then it doesn't exist.
I mean, you're a librarian.
Yeah, when somebody comes in and asks you for help, you help them find what they want to know until the very end. Yeah. She doesn't even try. She's like, oh, you can't find it, doesn't exist.
I really like her character though, because there's a thing about it in the third movie. She comes back to the Jedi Temple and she does a good bit of fighting. This little old lady.
True. Yep.
She's trying to find survivors type thing. I think. Don't quote me on this.
She has some deleted scenes in episode 3, and she also has like a whole comic book arc where she like fights Darth Vader and stuff before he's a robot.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Okay, I won't kill her then. I just didn't appreciate her.
I would marry her.
Yeah.
Jeez. I didn't like her level of professionalism at the library. I think she could.
I thought she just got a little catty with Obi Wan.
Yeah.
Maybe she was having a hard day.
True.
We got to give her the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Also, I really like her fit.
True.
Some fire robes.
All right, so I guess I
would just fuck the library itself because it's a pretty...
That is a beautiful library.
Right? It was based off of the libr's at Trinity College in Dublin.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
But yeah, no, I'd fuck the library.
The whole building. Yeah, I'm gonna marry Count Dooku because I get it. I get where he's coming from.
I want to support the cause.
Yeah,
too,
I do.
Yeah.
He knows what's up. I'm gonna definitely still can't kill Anakin. Fuck that guy. And I'm going to fuck. Everyone, you're right. Everyone. I guess I'll fuck Obi Wan.
What about
Without
Luminara
Maul.
and Dooley?
Who?
I don't know. She's one of the people. She's like in one scene in the background. She's another Lego Star Wars.
I would be intrigued though to get to know those lizard people a little better.
The long ones?
Yeah.
See, I was going to say that was going to be the one that I'd fuck, just because I want to know.
I gotta know what's down there.
Exactly.
Tanwy.
I'd fuck one of those guys. I would marry Obi-Wan, because it seems like the obvious choice. And then I think I'd kill Watto just because
You bitch. No.
he doesn't have anything going for him. I'd rather end it quickly for the guy.
Dude, I'm so pissed at you right now.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
He's a small business owner. He's just trying his best.
See, you said this. Someone said this last time, but like also he sells junk. I don't know if that's
He sells garbage.
I don't know if that's a business.
He sells garbage and gambles.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, he's like a slave trader.
Yeah, no.
He's a bad dude.
He's got like a pyramid scheme.
He's shiesty at best. He's not a good guy.
And what would we follow this up with?
Episode 3.
Yeah, that's the only thing to do, really.
No, I'd say my favorite pairing with this would be the 2003 animated series, also called The Clone Wars. It's by the same guy who does Samurai Jack. It's not the more recent rendition of The Clone Wars. There's it's like a bunch of short movies. Highly recommend that for right after this movie because it gives you a lot of cool clone trooper shit and also a lot of Anakin and Obi-Wan vibing and chilling.
And didn't you say that like Anakin is so much more likable in those? Like there's just such a shift where you're like, oh, I can kind of get behind this guy.
He's arrogant, but like he has like dark side tendencies, but he's like a charismatic, like cool dude, you know?
Yeah.
Like he's I don't know.
Yeah, I'd like to see more of that.
He's not as much of a prick
Yeah.
as he is in episode 2.
And you were also telling me about the video game that's the prequel about how they picked Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And that was very intriguing to me.
If you're down to play, I think it's either on like PS2 or GameCube. If you want to play some retro video games after this, it's called Bounty Hunter. You play as Jango Fett, and it's about how you are picked to make the clones. And it's pretty cool.
Like they're like, who is the most badass person that we could do? And then it's a video game.
And it turns out it's you. It's Jango Fett the whole time.
I was looking, and all of the Star Wars movies that come out are always the top grossing movie that year. You know, always. But not this one. This is the only one that isn't. And it was because it was beat by both Spider-Man and Lord of the Rings. Return of the King. So it was beat by both. So I think
it was in third place after them.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
Was this the first Spider-Man?
Yes.
The original Tobey?
Yeah. So I also think you should just watch Spider-Man 3 with Topher Grace because if you live in the same reality as me, you just watched the Topher Grace's amazing performance as Anakin.
Yeah.
And so then you followed up with him as Eddie Brock in Spider-Man 3, which is also so good.
I think that's a great call.
Yeah, so
I really like
I think
that.
for sure, and it's the same kind of like early 2000s hokey CGI, fun romp, get trashed, watch Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's my input.
Plus, you get to see Willem Dafoe.
Of course.
If you watch
Not
the third one. If you watch the
first
first
one,
one. Yeah.
We love Willem Dafoe. in
That
this
line
house.
that he has is like, I like that Spider-Man. It just runs through my head like at least 3 times a day.
Holy shit.
I also like that they were like, Willem Dafoe, he's kind of a funky looking guy. Yeah. You know who his son should be? James Franco. That's believable. I love that for them.
A+ casting.
I gotta go to work.
Okay. Well, it's been fun. Thanks for coming on the pod, Henry. Have a good day at Home Depot.
All right, will do.
So thanks for joining us this week.
This is a really fun one to record.
Yeah, this movie is so fun, and how can you not have fun talking about it? So tell us what you think. What do you think of Anakin's hair? I want to know.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the third one. Should we come up with a question for a giveaway? Just literally just tell me fuck, marry, kill for this movie because it's so hard.
Yeah.
Or just
Which one?
thoughts on Star Wars.
Padme, Obi Wan, or Anakin. Fuck, marry, kill.
No, dude, the whole movie. It's so
the whole
tough.
movie.
The main three is so easy. They're so easy.
Know.
Who's
a lot of people really think Hayden Christensen is hot. I'm one of them.
I'm one of them too, but not in this movie.
I don't know. Is he too boyish?
Would you fuck a boy with a rat tail?
I just might. Hey, don't count it out.
Well, I would not fuck somebody who tried to force feed me pears.
And by force feed, you mean with the force.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not supposed to be doing this right now, but check it out. And then he like lifts the pear and she nuts in her pants. Like, come on. There's way cooler shit you could have done than that. But yeah, thanks for listening. Please check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. We're at The Swamp Pod. I think we're at The Swamp Podcast for TikTok. Check out our website. We have merch, so we can maybe afford to pay Jen someday. We want to do more merch, so tell us what you want, if you want anything.
T-shirt, a hat, a mug, anything.
Skateboard, tech deck. We should get tech decks. Oh,
that'd be good. That'd be really good.
Beyblades. Let's just bring back the toys from our childhood.
Yeah,
should become eBay. Email us if you're feeling really business professional.
Yeah, please. I love to read a good email from you guys.
Shoot us an email.
We've got a couple, and they really make my day.
theswamppod@gmail.com. And just, when you guys interact with us in any way, shape, or form, it really lifts my heart and gives me a serotonin boost. Even just like a like on a tweet, literally
Feels so validated.
Yes, so good. So we love you all. Thanks for listening.
Thanks so much.
And like, comment, and subscribe. Is that
roll tide? Roll tide. Roll tide. Roll tide. Roll tide. Roll tide.